Liebe Leute, willkommen zurück zu Suzerain. Ja, Anton Rayne, der hat jetzt eine eigene Partei gegründet, in der Hoffnung, wiedergewählt zu werden als Präsident, da ja seine Innenministerin, Lilias Graf, die Wahl um den Vorsitz der Partei, der Vereinten Sordland-Partei, gewonnen hat. Und auch der Sicherheitsberater, hätte ich fast gesagt, nein, es ist der strategische Berater Lucian Galate, hat sich ja auf die Seite von Lilias geworfen, genauso wie der Kriegsminister, was aber nicht überraschend war, weil der ja auch ein konservatives Mitglied der alten Garde ist, oder der alten Garde zumindest nahe steht. Von daher, einzige Überraschung ist, dass Gloria Tory sich da nicht ebenfalls mit angeschlossen hat, denn sie ist ja die ehemals konservative Sprecherin der Nationalversammlung gewesen und hat eigentlich ja den konservativen Flügel der Partei unter Kontrolle gehabt, aber hier ist es scheinbar auch nicht gelungen, ausreichende Unterstützung für uns zu gewinnen bei der Wahl. Naja, wie dem auch sei, wir gehen mal in die Nachbesprechung zu Hause, nehme ich an. With the election looming, I'd practically been sleeping at the Maroon Palace lately, but tonight I made a deliberate effort to get home early. I told Monica and Deanna I wanted a family supper. Just like in the old days, Monica had promised to cook something special. The usual crowd of protesters was waiting for me outside the gates of the complex. The guards formed a cordon to let me through. Warum sollten wir die Wachen so angucken? Sie verdächtigen? Don't look at them and go to your door. Ja. I rushed past the guards to my door. Once inside, I locked the front door behind me. I hurried past them, went in... Ja, okay. I heard footsteps coming my way. Hi, Papa. Hug her. I opened my arms to embrace my daughter. She hugged me back happily. How was school today? Diana shrugged. I won a prize at the science fair. Honestly, I think they were teaching girls different stuff before, cause they knew we were smarter than boys. Genau, da haben wir ja das Schulsystem haben wir reformiert, sodass die geschlechterbasierte Unterscheidung beim Curriculum, sowohl in den Schulen als auch in den Universitäten, was völlig hirnrissig ist, abgeschafft wurde. You might be right. Diana smiled. Mama's in there. I've got to do some homework before dinner. I followed her with my eyes as she went upstairs. She was starting to look more and more like her mother. I stepped into the kitchen. Monica was stirring a pot on the stove, her back turned to me. Hug her from behind. I snuck up behind Monica and gave her a hug. She screamed and dropped her ladle. When she realized it was me, she smiled and gave me a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, Anton, I guess I've been on edge lately. Why don't you go fix yourself a drink in the living room? I'll let you know when dinner's ready. I sat down in the living room, poured myself a bit of whiskey, and flipped through one of Monica's women's magazines. Deanna came rushing back down the stairs and made a beeline for the coffee table. She picked up her pencil case. Almost forgot that. Jetzt können wir sagen, dass Frank ja, seine Hausaufgaben nie so ernst genommen hat. Aber vielleicht eher das hier. What do you hear from your brother these days? Not much. He writes me letters sometimes. Bourgeois pigs. Tja, kommt drauf an, wen man fragt, würde ich mal sagen. Also zur Erinnerung, Frank ist ja in United Contana und studiert da an der Universität. Und scheinbar hat die politische Indoktrinierung, die kommunistische dort, einen Effekt auf ihn. Tja. Not if I have anything to do with it. Weiß ich nicht. Die Antworten gefallen mir beide nicht so richtig gut. Denn ich finde es schon in Ordnung, dass er in United Contana studiert. Tja, ich nehme mal 1. Oh, ja, passt nicht so richtig, ne? Monica appeared in the doorway. She smiled at the two of us. Dinner's ready. The three of us gathered around the dining room table. Monica ladled out bowls full of sabla. The stew tasted as good as it smelled. Raise your glass. Now that we are all here, I wanted to say something. Ja, was auch immer da kommt. Wir können einen Rückblick machen sozusagen. Ich weiß, dass die letzten 4 Jahre für uns alle schwer waren. Die letzten 4 Jahre waren die härtesten meines Lebens. Weiß ich nicht, ob das zustimmt. Also in gewisser Weise schon, aber er hat halt diese schlimmen Erfahrungen ja aus seiner Jugend. The past 4 years have tested our strength as a family. Oh, das finde ich aber, das finde ich nicht angemessen. Weil trotzdem er Präsident ist und so, hätte er sich auch ein bisschen mehr um seine Familie kümmern können. Sie waren für uns alle schwer. I was so busy focusing on the needs of the Sordish people that I sometimes forgot about Sordlands' most important people, my own wife and daughter. I know I haven't been there for either of you as much as I should have. I'm so grateful to both of you for supporting me through it all. I'm so proud of us for getting through it all together. Eher 2, wobei das auch ein bisschen fadenscheinig ist, wenn er jetzt für die Wiederwahl kandidiert, ne? I know I haven't been there for either of you as much as I should have. So, I hope someday we'll be able to put this behind us and be a normal family again. Nein, weiß ich nicht. I hope I can make it up to you someday. Ich kann es wieder gut machen. Es ist halt jetzt einfach so, also damit muss man jetzt umgehen. Kann es halt nicht rückgängig machen. Make it up to you. I hope someday we'll be able to put this behind us and be a normal family. Was ist das, eine normal family? Monica's eyes were shining. And we'll have plenty of time for that because I'm retiring from politics. Das ist ja wohl nicht wahr, wenn er gerade seine eigene Partei gegründet hat. Once the election's over, I'm taking you both on holiday. Monica sighed heavily. Anton, I think you should quit politics, not just drop out of the election. Retire. Was? Monika, was ist mit all den Reformen? Wieso? With everything that happened, I don't think you belong in government. Of course I don't want to lose the progress we've made for women, but I'm afraid that'll happen anyway. You being president, it hasn't been easy on any of us. Maybe we could go back to the way things were before. Uff. Uff. Oh, das ist jetzt aber eine harte Entscheidung. Oh. Also, Monika will, dass Anton sich aus der Politik zurückzieht. Ich meine, vorher war er auch in der Politik, so ist er nicht, aber zumindest nicht nochmal für die Präsidentschaft kandidiert. Andererseits ist das demokratische Projekt, doch, was wir hier angestoßen haben über die letzten 4 Jahre, doch massiv. Das kann man nicht einfach aufgeben, oder? Da gibt es andere, die das sozusagen die Fackel weitertragen könnten, wenn man das so pathetisch sagen will, aber wie ist Anton da drauf? Das ist die Frage, rollenspielerisch. Wie ist Anton da drauf? Schwer zu sagen. Er hat so viel investiert dafür. Und gegen so viele Widerstände. Er hat sich nicht verbiegen lassen. Er hat keine Bestechung angenommen. Ich weiß nicht, ob er es nicht für die Sache weitermachen will. Und dann ist die Frage, kann er sich sozusagen überwinden, das aufzugeben für seine Familie? Eine sehr harte Entscheidung. Ich sag mal, aus der Rolle heraus ist es, glaube ich, eher, dass er es fortsetzen muss. Persönlich tendiere ich aber eher zu 1. Aber ich mach's in der Rolle, I've gotta keep going. Monica's lips formed a thin line. You never did know when to give up. Can we finish dinner now? Of course. The three of us finished our food in silence. Once we had cleared our plates, I went up to my study. I still had work to do. Oh, das ist nicht gut, das ist nicht gut. The radical voice. Hope is not lost. In today's Communist Party rally, the Communist Party of Sordlands leader Dennis Stahler made a speech to the largest crowd he ever assembled. Tens of thousands came together in Valgen to give their support to the CPS leadership. In his speech, they may have censored us from the press, bullied us on the streets, took our votes away from us, but hope is us. But they could never silence us. This year, CPS will form the government, and I will transform this nation, said Stahler. ATO-Leader, das wäre auch mal interessant gewesen, wenn wir jetzt die Generalamnestie nicht gemacht hätten. Wären die dann auch stark geworden? Kann sein, dass Stahler, vielleicht gucken wir das nochmal gerade nach, dass der inhaftiert war. He later joined the People's Freedom and Justice Party. And in 1950 co-founded the Second Communist Party of Sordland. 1950. He founded it in 1950. Er hat in Walksland ist er kommunistisch geworden. He joined the Communist Party and faced prosecution under Lutheran, das ist ja dieser faschistische General gewesen. After the ban of the Communist Party, he moved to Volksland, assisted the Red Youth. Because of his political theories and on communism and physical resemblance of Emmerich Hegel, he was given the nickname Sordisch Hegel. He joined the PFJP as a Social Democrat in 1936 with hopes to enter the Grand National Assembly of Sordland, but was denied top positions on the candidate list. In 1950, da war Soll doch nicht mehr Präsident, oder? Stahler co-founded the CPS with a group of other socialist politicians and political theorists. He wrote a manifesto titled Sordisch Socialism, which caused a split within the party between the followers of Stahler's Sordisch Socialists and the Millennialists. As always, huh? He invited the famous poet Bernhard Circas to join the party ahead of their first elections in 1953, but was rejected. Ja, Circas war ja unabhängig. In the 53 elections he got just below 8%. So, da sind sie gerade so nicht ins Parlament gekommen. After the election of President Rayne, he doubled his efforts to increase his party's reach by opening new offices in every major city in Sordland. Okay. So, und wir haben Sanktionen. Sanktionen gegen Rumburg. Und zwar von beiden Blöcken. Das ist ja interessant. Von ATO und CSP. Also Arcasian Treaty Organization und Cortana Security Pact. The declaration signals sanctions on Rumburg if the threatening moves continued in eastern Mercopa. During the speech they also thanked Sordland for the efforts to bring more attention to the issue. Ach, das haben die sogar zusammen gemacht in a joint announcement. Dwight Walker und Leon Malenev made history. Oh, das ist ja krass. Overnight, Rumburg's economy has taken a strong hit due to the trade. President Rayne's strategy to isolate Rumburg has been proven to be working. Tja, und? Freut sich das Militär darüber? Wahrscheinlich nicht. Air Force issues civilian flight warning. The Air Force has issued a warning against non-essential air travel. Civilians are discouraged from booking flights except in the case of business purposes or to visit sick or dying relatives. Warum? Also, ich glaube, der Militärputsch, der droht immer noch am Horizont. Ja, Military assumes interior security duties, da haben wir es nämlich. With the new powers that it has been granted by the Swedish the Swedish military has assumed responsibility for keeping peace within Sordland's border, overriding local police authority. Extra troops have been dispatched to Camp Strong Arm to manage the growing unrest in Holzort. Aber wo haben sie denn die... Wer hat ihnen denn diese Befugnis gegeben? Das haben wir doch niemals entschieden, dass sie... Das haben wir doch niemals entschieden, dass sie die Befugnis haben, im Inneren zu agieren. Machen jetzt Lileas Graf und Josef Lancer ihr eigenes Ding hier gerade? Oder was passiert jetzt? 2 minutes to midnight. I woke up to a loud knock on the door. I managed to open my eyes and looked at the clock. It was 11:58 p.m. Who could it be at this hour? Huffing and puffing, I put on my slippers. I looked at the other side of the bed. Monica was sleeping soundly. I started walking downstairs. I heard another knock on the door, louder this time. Keep walking towards the door. Another knock, this time even louder. Look through the peephole. I could see Josef standing outside, accompanied by a few soldiers. Ist das der Militärputsch? Ist das der Putsch? Tja, wir können jetzt die Tür öffnen oder ihn fragen, was ist hier los? Machen wir das mal. Warum sollte der mit Soldaten mitten in der Nacht hierher kommen? What's going on? Why are you here at this hour? I won't open the door unless you answer. We need to talk, Mr. President. This is urgent. Tell me what it is. Do it. With a scary thud, the door shook in its hinges. Monica rushed down the stairs, still in her nightgown. Her voice was trembling. Anton, what's going on? We have to run. Das ist ein Militärputsch gegen den amtierenden Präsidenten, Leute. We have to run now. Another thud and the door was cracked open. Anton, soldiers immediately stormed into my house. They entered and went through every room, checking for threats. Once they were done, they stood ready. Joseph walked in, soldiers saluted him. How dare you? You will explain to me what the hell is going on? Do you think you can just get away with this? Nö, wir machen mal weiter hier. Wir sind die Autorität, wir sind der Präsident. You will explain to me what the hell is going on. I'm sorry, but your time is over, Mr. President. You are under arrest for your crimes against Sordland. Above all else, you have committed high treason and conspired against the will of your people. Yo. How long have you been planning this? Since the day you betrayed your country. The military had no choice but to take over the government to ensure the well-being of Sordland and its people. Ja, und wann war das? The Grand National Assembly is hereby abolished, along with the immunity of members of the parliament. In addition, a curfew is now in effect and all gatherings are banned until further notice. All government officials who are suspected of betraying their country will be tried in military court and made to answer for their crimes. That includes you, Mr. President. Alter, was ist denn los? I won't let you, I'm the President. Oder you are destroying our democracy. Oder eines Tages wirst du dafür bezahlen müssen. Tja, in der Situation gerade bringt es wohl nichts, wenn wir ihm sagen, dass wir der Präsident sind, ha? Zerstörst unsere Demokratie. Ich meine, das werden doch selbst die Konservativen im Parlament nicht mittragen können, oder? Dass das Parlament aufgelöst wird. No, we are protecting our country. Take him away. I don't want to see his face. He will wait in a cell in Anton Rock prison until his trial. A soldier started approaching me. Anton, no, I won't let you take him. Diana appeared at the top of the stairs. She rubbed her eyes in disbelief. Mama, where are they taking him? Monica pulled on my jacket. A soldier moved in and shoved her away forcefully. Tears welled up in her eyes. Anton. Everything will be fine. Take care of Diana. No, you can't take him away. Please, this is unconstitutional. Another soldier pulled out handcuffs. Resist? Let the soldier handcuff you. Oh. There is no need for handcuffs, I know when I have no way out. Tja, das ist wohl eher die Situation. Ich weiß nicht, wie viele Soldaten das sind, aber es scheinen einige zu sein. Andererseits, ja, ich weiß nicht, ob die Verfassung ein Widerstandsrecht vorsieht. Könnte schon sein. Dem demokratischen Verständnis nach müsste es das ja geben, aber mit der Demokratie ist es ja nicht so weit her, von daher, Resist? Aber das könnte auch gegen uns ausgelegt werden. Also es könnte auch dazu führen, dass er erschossen wird oder was weiß ich was. There is no need. The soldier stopped in his tracks and looked at Joseph for confirmation. He nodded. His men escorted me to the truck. I realized I still had my slippers on. They roughly shoved me into the back of the vehicle, as they would a common criminal. The engine rumbled to life and the truck started moving. Joseph Lancia ist jetzt de facto Head of State. Government budget decreased. Okay. Warum? Joseph Lancia instigated a coup against the government and I have been thrown to jail. Und was sagt die Alliance of Nations dazu? Was sagt die Reformerpartei dazu? Was sagt der Reformerflügel in der Einheitspartei dazu? Was sagt die Arbeiterpartei dazu? Das wird doch... Jetzt wird's doch richtig rund gehen, oder nicht? Continue. Jetzt bin ich sehr gespannt. Sometime later. Oh, 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 oh. Die Nachrichten berichten nicht darüber. Oder, weil wir im Gefängnis sitzen, können wir sie nicht lesen. Das wahrscheinlich eher. So, jetzt will ich mal gerade gucken. Political Overview. Ah, der wurde aber nicht abgedatet, ha? Nee. Okay. Gut, ist aber eher alles außer Kraft. Waiting for the day of trial. I was making my 14th scratch on the wall when the warden opened the cell door. It was my first time seeing a person since the military detained me. He put handcuffs on my wrist and we started working. I barely had enough energy to ask where we were going. I just assumed the worst. He told me today was the day of my trial. While we were walking, I caught a glimpse of my reflection on a metal door. My beard had grown and my cheeks were sunken. The conditions I was held in were showing. I was the only one loaded into the prison truck. After a couple of hours had passed, we finally came to a stop. After I exited the vehicle, I held my head up and saw the insignia of the Supreme Court. Der ja von der alten Garde kontrolliert wird, mehrheitlich. Soldiers grabbed my arms and led me inside. They gestured towards the table in the courtroom. Take a seat. I took my place at the table. Looking around, I saw the flags of the Sordish armed forces hanging down from the walls, covering the crests of the Supreme Court. Ah, heißt das, der Supreme Court ist da gar nicht aktiv? Sondern das ist jetzt ein Militärgericht geworden. The room was completely empty except for me and the soldiers on guard. I looked at the vacant seats on the bench. The door opened and General Joseph Lancea entered alone. The soldier saluted and he saluted back. I watched him take his seat comfortably. Normally, you are supposed to rise when a judge enters this room, Mr. Rayne. You are no judge, you are just an usurper. Cranky, aren't we? I suppose that's what staying in a cell for weeks does to people. There is no time to waste, let's begin. This military court will now handle the case of Anton Rayne, the former president of Sordland. Do you know why you are here? No, I don't. Ha, as expected, acting innocent until the end. You are accused of high treason against Sordland, Mr. Rayne. If there is any betrayal here, it is yours against your democratically elected president and government. Shut your mouth, you will only speak when you are spoken to. You have failed to govern your people and instead, as a result of your action, they are revolting. If you can't put an end to this, then we will. You've allowed our military to degrade, causing direct danger to the integrity of our country and our people. You have aligned our country with the evil ideology of millennialism. Stimmt doch gar nicht. Our fathers are now rolling in their graves because of you. You spat on the very foundations this country was built on. It is clear to me that you are actively trying to destroy our country from the inside. And any enemy of Sordland must pay the ultimate price. What do you have to say for yourself, Mr. Rayne? Ach. Ich habe Sordland zu einem besseren Ort gemacht. Alle haben jetzt ein angenehmes Leben. Das ist kriminell. Es ist weder das Recht noch die Autorität, mich zu verurteilen. Oder es macht keinen Unterschied, was ich sage, oder? Nee, wir gehen mal mit 2. This is a power grab in disguise of protecting the Republic. I demand proper trial. You finished? Shall we move on then? Doesn't matter what I say, does it? No, not really. His mouth twitched upwards as a smirk started forming on his face. I see what this is. This is all a ploy to end Sordish democracy along with my presidency. I won't play along. Oder I will make it out of this. And one day you will be sorry for your life. You know what? Screw you. Nein, I won't play along. Your lies know no bound. Fortunately, we don't care if you play along or not. Tja, nochmal die Familie sehen. Oder the people of Sordland will look back and chorus your name for what you have done. Tja, gute Frage. Gehen wir mit 1. You're wrong, Mr. Rayne. They will thank me for getting rid of you. No need to delay this further. I will now announce the verdict on this case. I took a deep breath. In 1958, Supreme Court of Sordland. Joseph Lancier tapped the gavel. The sound echoed in the empty courtroom. He rose from his seat. Knowing what was coming next, you felt that you blamed yourself? Were angry at everyone who betrayed you? You did your best for Sordland no matter what. Ja. The next words you heard were, I hereby decide that you are guilty. You thought about how you would go down in history as the victim of yet another one of Sordland's coups. But he wasn't done speaking. For the magnitude of the crimes you have committed against Sordland, I am sentencing you to life in prison. Ah, wir werden nicht direkt erschossen. Soldiers grabbed your arms and started walking you towards the door. As you were walking, you worried about the future of your family, declared that you would take revenge, accepted your fate. No, worried about the future of the family. 1959, Anti-Rock Prison. Your cell was cold and lonely. The only decorations you put on the damn dark walls were photos of Frank and Diana. For a while, reading was the only thing you could do. After finishing the precious books sent by Monica, you kept yourself busy by writing your own memoir. You were happy that at least your family was allowed to visit once a month. Time flies in jail. 1960. You learned in prison that after 2 years the military junta finally gave the power back to the people. The political parties and the Grand National Assembly were re-established. You hoped that someone would hang Joseph for his crimes? You did not care, you thought that this could be your way out. 1964. Frank visited you for the first time in years, bringing along his wife and son. They reminded you of your own family in better times. You held your grandson for the first time. He squirmed and started crying in your arms. Frank told you that he had joined the ranks of the Communist Party of Sordland. Jetzt können wir ihm einen Rat geben und uns Sorgen um seine Zukunft. Er soll sich nicht zu weit in die Politik begeben oder wir gratulieren ihm dazu. Kommunistische Partei. Ja, warum nicht? Ist seine Entscheidung. Wir gratulieren ihm. 1965. After 7 years in jail, Sordland's new president finally granting amnesty to political prisoners from the military rule days. You looked at yourself in the mirror as you were packing up your belongings to leave. You had grown old. You took your first step outside. Freedom felt good. Monica, Diana and Frank were waiting for you. Unfortunately, the years hadn't been kind to Monica. But they hadn't been kind to you either. 1967. Getting used to being a free man took years. You finally felt confident enough to plan out what to do with the rest of your life. You chose to. Tja, nochmal in der Politik versuchen? Aufs Land zurückziehen? Einen ehrlichen Job finden. Have another shot at politics. 1973. We tried to get back into politics, but Sordland had changed too much. The political spheres formed after the coup did not accept you. You had to work manual, though at least honest jobs to get by. At least you were free. 1974. A week after your 66th birthday, a woman knocked on your door. She was a young upstart journalist fascinated by your life story. No matter what you did, she kept coming back. Finally, you gave in. She said she was working on a book about you. You just wanted to finally have peace of mind. Helped her as best as you could. Ja, warum nicht? After many hours of interviews, she said that she had enough information and disappeared from your life. You looked up the names she had given you, but you couldn't find it anywhere. You suspected she'd used an alias. You wondered why. You heard a knock on your door. It was the delivery man with a large, heavy package. The package was filled with copies of books. There was a small note on top of it. Thank you, Carol Circus. Ah, ist sie die Tochter von Circus? You picked up the book. It was titled Suzerain, the story of Anton Rayne. You faintly smiled. Das ist das Ende, Leute. Das ist das Ende. Wow. Und was für eins. Anton Rayne, 4. Präsident von Sordland. In Office 1954 to 58. VizepräsidentInnen waren Peter Wegler und Gloria Torrey. Vorheriger Präsident war Ewald Alfonso. Nachfolger, naja, war Josef Lanzier. Politische Parteien, USP und People's Party, obwohl wir mit der quasi nichts mehr machen konnten. Children, Alma Mater. History will remember you as a democratic millennialist. Jetzt gibt's hier so eine... Das ist ja interessant. Gibt's so ein Spektrum. Show the Sordish Politicians. Jetzt bin ich ja mal sehr gespannt. Ah ja, wie ihr. Peter ist einfach in der Mitte, völlig neutral. Manoli Suhail, wer ist das? Die haben wir, glaube ich, gar nicht kennengelernt. So, Mansun Leke ist hauptsächlich Reformer, nicht ganz millennialistisch. Stahler, Kommunistische Partei, Bernhard Circus. Ja, der ist natürlich ganz links. Was haben wir denn hier eigentlich? Millennialismus, Kapitalismus, Reformer und Solismus. Also Solismus ist autoritär natürlich. Da ist Tarkin Sol, da ist Lilias Graf. Remus Holstron sagt mir auch nichts. Cesaro Kibbener. Das ist der von der rechtsradikalen Partei. Gloria Torrey ist dem relativ nah und auch Lilias. Deswegen umso verwunderlicher, dass sie sich nicht Lilias angeschlossen hat. So, Albin Clevin, das war der neue Sprecher des Parlaments und der Anführer des Reformerflügels in der USP. Ist Kapitalist. Arthur Visci, das war der erste Präsident. Kapitalist und Reformer. Ich dachte, der wäre weiter links. Franz Richter ist hier. Ewald Alfonso. Ja, okay. Between 1945 and 58, 1.6 million people lost their jobs. 81% fewer maternal deaths were recorded. Ja, das finde ich schon mal bemerkenswert. During street clashes, 52 police officers and 228 protesters were killed. 8,821 protesters were arrested. 15,440 people were arrested for their suspected ties to the Young Swords. 102,345 conscripts joined the workforce. 3,390 people with Bluish descent were jailed, and 239 were killed. 3,899 legal cases were delayed. 1,340 women won a domestic violence case at the courts, and 403,380 girls were enrolled at secondary education for the first time. 81,340 companies declared bankruptcy. Private assets worth of 5 billion Sordish rand were seized by the state. Ist das der Abschluss? Das Ende der Präsidentschaft Rayne oder des Lebens des Anton Rayne, der Geschichte des Anton Rayne. Wow, was für ein cooles Spiel. Was für ein großartiges Spiel. Hat mir sehr, sehr gut gefallen. Und könnte man sicherlich nach einiger Zeit mal wieder spielen und andere Wege versuchen. Ich fand es sehr, sehr beeindruckend. Ich mag die Spannung zwischen dem, was man, weiß ich nicht, was man für nicht machbar hält, aber was man denkt, welchen politischen Zustand man erreichen will und den Kampf, das Ringen mit dem Ist-Zustand, mit den alten konservativen Eliten und so weiter. Das fand ich sehr, sehr interessant. Hat leider scheinbar für Anton nicht ganz so effektiv hingehauen, wie es hätte sein können, aber es war ja klar, dass wir uns da nicht verbiegen wollten, sondern der, sag mal, pragmatisch-idealistischen Linie treu bleiben wollten. Nun gut, ich hoffe, euch hat das Let's Play gefallen. Mir auf jeden Fall sehr. Wir sehen uns mit dem nächsten Projekt wieder. Bis dahin wünsche ich euch wie immer alles Gute und bis dann, euer Jan.